On your somatic healing and nervous system regulation journey, as you recover from chronic pain, anxiety, panic attacks, and other sensations like chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia, you may hear the phrase, "This is a nonlinear journey." So today I'm going to tell you what that actually means. And then at the end of the video, stick around, I'm going to tell you what that looked like on my multi-year journey of recovery from being bedbound with chronic pain and going through panic, anxiety, and all that. So stick around to the end and I'll tell you about how that worked for me. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm Healing Wolf, a professional neuroplastic chronic pain, trauma, anxiety, and panic recovery coach, here to help you move swiftly and confidently through the jungles of recovery, avoiding the snakes and embracing the butterflies until you reach the other side and you can step back into the sunlight of a full and vibrant life. So this journey, as we work with an unconscious mind that doesn't really recognize time in the same way that we do and doesn't really recognize our conscious inputs in the same way that we wish it would until we really train it to, we can have a nonlinear healing odyssey. And that means some days are easier than others. Some progress is made, and then some sideways movement is made, and then some progress is made. So it might be 3 steps forward, 2 steps to the side. I don't like saying 2 steps back because you're never really moving backwards as long as your mindset continues to develop. And your mindset actually develops the most on this nonlinear journey when you go through the valleys or you go over a high mountain ridge where things are very challenging. You can look at it either way. The valleys could be low emotional points, and the tops of the peaks could be really challenging sensations that are happening. So nonlinear, what does that look like? It looks like on a chronic pain journey that some days you may wake up where your pain is almost unbearable. And other days you may wake up where your pain is okay enough for you to step out and do something in life. And sometimes people try to study that, map it out, write it down, and track it. And I would recommend that you do not track it because it's not following a pattern that you want to lock into your system. So even if you are experiencing some triggers, you don't want to reinforce those triggers by paying too much attention to them. So on a nonlinear journey, instead, you want to widen your perspective and see that even though you're feeling really intense, let's say panic sensations after your 4th panic attack, whereas on your 3rd panic attack, it was a little less, a little easier to handle, you came out of it quicker, that you're still recovering. That's one of the main points of reminding yourself that this is a nonlinear journey, is that you are still recovering even if you get a huge recovery reaction or flare, as some people call it. So as you move forward, expect that unconscious mind is going to be sometimes reading your progress as a threat. You have a great day, and unconscious mind has been trying to protect you from years by keeping you inside, by keeping you in bed, by keeping you locked down, and suddenly you're out strolling the neighborhood, laughing with a neighbor. And unconscious mind might think, wow, he's gone really far, and maybe I need to really give a big sensation of panic or chronic pain to make sure he doesn't do that again. So that's where the nonlinearity comes in. And unconscious mind also doesn't understand that things that happened when you were a child are over, that they're history. Unless you work with a coach who knows how to handle that kind of, clearing that kind of misinterpretation of a timeline, then And I do that, by the way, especially using rapid resolution therapy. If you don't have a coach that does that, then it's likely that your journey is going to be even more nonlinear. How do we encourage our minds in our recovery and our healing odyssey, our somatic healing odyssey, to be a little more predictable and a little more linear? I'll talk about that in a minute, and then some of the things that I did on my journey. But first, please subscribe to this channel, give me a thumbs up, ring the bell, and help me on my mission to help people out of hell. I do this for a living because at the bottom of my journey, I was bedbound, and it was so awful I couldn't sleep. I had such intense pain sensations that I felt like I didn't want to live. It was very, very intense. And nobody should have to go through that level. Let's stick together here. Let's work to get people out so that the world can be better. And when everybody's feeling better, then the world gets better because people are out living their best lives, kind, happy, and healthy. And that's what we want for everybody. So, for the end of the video, I'm going to talk more about how do you make your journey a little more linear. I would say the number one thing is consistency. If you consistently show up doing the things that you know make sense for you to do as you regulate your nervous system, such as meditating regularly, you're calming your mind, you're getting your mind into a space where it can relax and feel safe. That makes everything more linear because the more of a safe and balanced baseline you have, the less swings you have. And then beyond consistency is cultivating indifference and then allowing. And when you cultivate indifference and allowing, then your journey can become more linear because you're not reacting to the reaction. And that slows the reaction. It's like if you don't care about the sensations of panic or chronic pain and you're cool with them being there, then you don't feed back into your nervous system this sense of fear, which fuels those sensations and gives you more. So you lose the chronicity over time. It goes from chronic pain to occasional neuroplastic sensations intended to guide you into safety, even when it's overprotection. So I hope that makes sense. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, head to my website, healingwolfcoaching.com. Book a free consult. We'll strategize. We'll get you on my calendar. You can also sign up for my newsletter and get a free somatic healing meditation called The Rose. I know you can do this, so carry on. It's a nonlinear journey, but that's okay. Every hero's journey is nonlinear, and you're a hero. So keep going and keep making the most of each stage of this journey.